one thing that, you know, estate agents, agencies, and property professionals in general need to change for the future? Like, what's something that just needs to be left behind that, you know, because the pandemic kind of changed?
I think two answers probably popped to my head,
Okay.
and I'll take one. The first is probably, I'd say, is licensing would make a huge difference in the industry. I'm a really big advocate of that when it does come to it. But I think the approach I'd more like to take is to leave behind the sleazy salesman act. And that is something that I definitely started with, and I'm very, very sure that I started with that, you know, the three-piece suit and the slicked back hair, but just and the classic like sleazy act. And I mean, I'm got a very bad lockdown haircut at the moment, but I remember a shift in my career when I began to act human with the clients that I was interacting with. And when you're a human in front of another human, it creates a much more trustworthy process. It all of a sudden becomes an entirely different experience for the purchaser, because you're not the robot that's just reading information off of a sheet saying, you know, service charge, ground rent, price, square foot. You're the human that's interacting with another human who we've already agreed is on a very emotional journey, and a journey that takes up a lot of time and effort and stress. And I think making that shift of becoming a human when dealing with clients was a huge shift in my career, and I became a lot more successful when I did that. And I think that's something that all agents that I speak to who are starting out in property, that's the most fundamental advice that I give them.
No, I think that's something that I've been seeing as well. I've been speaking to quite a few independent agents, and, you know, agents, even if they're not independent, if they're in corporates, people that have, you know, been in the industry for a while now and who really care and are very passionate about the industry. And one of the main things that they seem to say, everyone seems to kind of, you know, it's a common theme, is that, you know, that customer service, and that everyone kind of wants to fix the tarnished image, I would say, of estate agents, that, you know, we're not just salesmen, we're people as well, and, you know, we're here to help you. Which is really cool to see. You know, it's really easy. You know, I mean, as painful as the process of buying and renting in London is, I met some great estate agents. I think that there were people that really, really helped me, you know, find exactly what I was looking for, really listen. And when they didn't have something, they'd be like, I'm so sorry, I don't have anything, but I'll come back to you if I do, right? Rather than just trying to sell something that I really don't want.
Well, 100%. But that's where I noticed, especially at my time in Galliard and then at Cushman & Wakefield, I noticed the shift there when, you know, from a place of trying to sell anything and everything to a client, even if it's not the right thing, to then saying, okay, we don't have anything right now, but let's reconvene in a month's time and we'll see what could be available. And that's the real benefit that I have now as well, where it's almost like it's a bespoke service for a client. It's, you know, directly for you and what you're looking for, not what I'm trying to, you know, I've only got X, Y, and Z on my books, so I need to sell that. I have free roam to sell in as many places as I can, and that makes it as bespoke as possible for the purchaser.
No, definitely, I completely agree. I think that is where the industry is headed. I'm excited to see that there are people that are really focusing on that, and I'm hoping that, you know,
100%.
it kind of catches on, and I think with licensing as well, you know, it's going to force people to really take it. I mean, there is a criteria of entry now, right? So that kind of makes sure that everyone has the right knowledge, they're right up to date, and they're up to the standard that, you know, everyone expects. So
the spread of misinformation is a huge thing that I think licensing will make a massive